We're going to stay with the topic of Iran as we turn to our press review with Deeptika Doran. Deepti, you're going to take us through how papers have been discussing the EU's listing of Iran's Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization.
Yeah, that's right, Alison. Now, the website Politico takes us behind the scenes of this EU decision, and in its article, it explains how the EU's internal resistance on Iran finally cracked, because for weeks, a group led by France had warned that a terror listing would essentially close off the little diplomatic leverage the EU still had with Iran, and that the EU could risk reprisals as well. Well, in the end, they decided to go ahead and make this decision and list the Revolutionary Guards as a terrorist organization. It's on the front of the Italian paper today, Il Riformista, which says here in this headline, banned or outlawed, and it calls it an historic decision by the EU, one that is, quote, significant and far-reaching, far more than previous sanctions against Iran. The paper quoting Kaja Kallas, the EU's foreign affairs chief, as saying, if you behave like a terrorist, then you must be treated like a terrorist, Alison.
What reaction are we seeing in Iran, Deepti?
Well, this is from Mer News, which is a news agency. You can see here in the front here, the website or the agency choosing to focus on Iran's response to this decision by the EU, focusing on Iranian parliament speaker who said that the Revolutionary Guard is one of the strongest and most effective anti-terrorism forces in the world, while the Tehran Times has published an opinion piece that's quite interesting, condemning, this author condemns what she calls the West's double standards on political violence. And she says in this article that police in the West, police pursue opposition figures all the way to the hospital beds and call it law enforcement. In Iran, police restraint is called a bloody crackdown. This is not a media mistake, she says, but quote, a core component of the narrative war against Iran.
All right, we're going to turn our attention to something different now here in France. Libération, the left-wing paper, their Friday edition is entirely in comics today.
Yeah, that's right. It happens once a year when Libé's whole edition is in comics. It's to pay tribute to the illustrated press, but also usually coincides with the festival of International Comic Festival of Angoulême. I say usually because this year is the first year the festival's not taking place due to bitter internal politics and controversy within the organizational structure. Nonetheless, Libé is still paying tribute to what we call the ninth art, the art of comics. And Le Monde explains that there will be some events in Angoulême this weekend. In fact, there'll be quite a few events, around 150 meetings that include dedications, round tables, exhibitions, and the likes between comic book authors and the public.
All right, staying with France-related news, Deepti, the French energy giant Total is set to reopen a controversial natural gas pipeline in Mozambique.
Yeah, this is getting a lot of coverage in Politico today. What Politico calls a massacre-linked gas project in Mozambique. Now, the CEO of TotalEnergies, Patrick Pouyanné, was in Mozambique to make this announcement that the 20 billion euro natural gas pipeline project will be kicking off once again. Now, building stopped in 2021 after a deadly jihadist attack in the region. In 2024, Politico revealed that the Mozambican soldiers based inside the site had brutalized, starved, executed, and disappeared some 200 men in 3 months. It had actually prompted Britain and the Netherlands to withdraw funding for the project. Total was even accused of war crimes, an allegation it denied. So you might wonder, how is it even possible that this project is even able to kick off again? Well, Le Monde kind of explains it in the headline here. It says it's sort of a project that's too big to fail. And Les Echos explains here in this article that the project could constitute some 20% of Total's gas projects, total gas projects, seen just simply as too big to fail.
Wow, that's an interesting one to keep an eye on, I think, as it goes forward. Deepti, finally, we're going to end with another 90s trend that is making a comeback. Which one is it?
I would love for you to guess, Alison, but I'll tell you anyway. Tamagotchis are coming back. The little beepers made by the Japanese company Bandai that allowed us to care for a virtual pet 24/7 back in the 90s and early 2000s has found a new popularity renaissance with young kids today. probably encouraged by parents for its educational value and lessons about responsibility and care. Although I don't know about you, mine died after about 24 hours, so I guess it says a lot about.
I don't even remember how mine did. I know I had one, but I have no idea. I don't think I even kept it for very long. Like, abandoned it after a year.
Exactly, got bored of it, like all kids.
Yeah, so it doesn't say a lot about our skills as parents, although I think we're both doing okay now.
I think
now
with the real life kids,
they tell you it's the same, it's not really the
No,
same.
it's not. It's totally different having a kid.
All right, Deepti, thank you as always for that look through the day's papers.